This video will show you everything that's new in OnePager version 7.1. Beginning with version 7.1, the new OnePager Bundle edition supports connections to Smartsheet and Primavera P6, in addition to the Microsoft Project and Excel imports that it has traditionally supported. This means that you can use OnePager Bundle to create a chart directly from one Smartsheet project, or several if you want to create a multi-project report. The same is true for Primavera P6. Import one or multiple P6 files into OnePager depending on your needs. Multi-project reports are always going to be based on a single source type, so while it's possible to bring in 3 Microsoft project plans, you can't mix different source types like Project and Smartsheet into a single chart. OnePager Bundle sees some other changes as well. Previously, OnePager Bundle was really a dual license to OnePager Pro for Microsoft Project and OnePager Express for Excel, where both tools were purchased together but were still installed and licensed separately. Beginning with version 7.1, OnePager Bundle is a separate edition in its own right, with a single installer and a single license key. When you install OnePager Bundle 7.1, you will still get an add-in for Project and an add-in for Excel, just like the OnePager Pro and OnePager Express add-ins that you're used to. You'll also get the standalone launcher for OnePager Bundle, which will enable you to import data from Smartsheet, Primavera P6, Microsoft Project, or Excel. Here's a recap of how the different editions of OnePager work with different data sources. OnePager Pro continues to work with Microsoft Project, Project Server, and Project Online, and it can be launched as an add-in to Microsoft Project or as a standalone desktop application. OnePager Express continues to work with Excel and can also be launched as an add-in for Excel or, again, as a standalone desktop application. The new OnePager Bundle supports 4 data sources in a single package: Smartsheet, Primavera P6, Microsoft Project or Project Online, and Excel. OnePager Bundle can be launched as a Project or Excel add-in, or can be launched as a standalone desktop application. For step-by-step instructions on how to connect OnePager to Smartsheet or to Primavera P6, please watch our detailed videos on those new connections, which are linked below. The remaining enhancements in this video pertain to all editions of OnePager, Pro, Express, and Bundle, and also apply to all supported source types: Project, Smartsheet, Primavera P6, and Excel. One of the major features of OnePager 7.1 is the addition of hash fill patterns. In previous versions of OnePager, we offered gradient fill patterns like these. Now, in addition to gradient fills, OnePager supports hash fills, which can either be applied across the entire chart or just to call attention to specific tasks and milestones. Hash fills are a great complement to color coding, as they allow end users experiencing color blindness to easily distinguish tasks that wouldn't otherwise stand out. To change your chart from a gradient fill to a hash fill, go to Chart Properties and click on the Taskbars tab. Click on the control for the fill, and you'll see a tabbed interface that separates gradients from hash patterns. Click on the Hash Patterns tab to see the new options, and then select a hash of your choosing. After clicking OK, notice how the chart has applied the same hash fill pattern to all of the tasks and milestones in the chart. Fills are now supported in conditional formatting as well, giving you the ability to assign one hash pattern to some tasks and a different hash pattern to other tasks. To do this, return to Chart Properties and click on the Taskbars tab, and then click on the Manage Rules button for conditional formatting. Here, you'll see that we already have some rules set up to assign color. We're going to expand these rules to add a hash fill pattern as well. To do this, click on the fill pattern for each rule. Switch from gradient to hash, and then pick a hash fill pattern for the first rule. Now, add a pattern for the remaining 2 rules until each rule is associated with a different hash fill pattern. Click OK, and OnePager will update the chart so that each status drives not only a color, but a hash fill pattern as well. The legend will also update automatically to display both the color and the hash fill pattern. OnePager 7.1 also introduces a brand new family of milestone shapes, emojis. There are now over 300 new emoji shapes across multiple categories. Emojis can be assigned anywhere that you assign a traditional milestone shape, but are most likely to be used in conditional formatting. When assigning a milestone shape through conditional formatting, you'll notice a new control that gives you the ability to choose between OnePager's traditional dynamic milestone shapes and the new emoji shapes. Dynamic milestone shapes will continue to let you conditionally assign properties like color, fill, and border. Emojis, on the other hand, come pre-configured and are multicolored by nature, so there's not a need to specify a color when using them. Both dynamic milestone shapes and emoji milestone shapes are divided into categories to make them easier to find. There are 7 categories of dynamic shapes and 9 categories of emojis. Let's take a tour of the emoji shape categories to see what some of the options are. OnePager will keep track of which milestones you use the most often and will make them available on a special category of recently used shapes. Emojis and dynamic shapes maintain separate lists of recently used shapes, so if you find yourself mixing between the two families, just remember that you'll have one list of recent emojis and a second list of recent dynamic shapes. With all of the new milestone shapes available, we also wanted to make it easier to find what you need more quickly. The new Search tab enables you to search for milestones based on short keywords. For example, if we search for tree, we get 4 results. The first 3 shapes are emojis since they're multicolored with different shades of green and brown. The 4th shape is a dynamic shape, which will always appear as a light blue fill with a dark blue border. In other words, you'll always be able to assign different colors, borders, and fills to the dynamic shape, but the first 3 shapes will always appear exactly as they appear here. We think that there's going to be a perfect set of shapes for every project, but if you'd like to see something added to our shape palette, please let us know. The next feature that's new to OnePager version 7.1 are %complete checkmarks. In earlier versions of OnePager, we gave you a few ways to represent progress in your schedule. A progress bar shows you how far along a task is. You can also display %complete as text if you want a more precise view. Milestones can also be filled when they're complete or unfilled when they're still underway. Now we've added a new way to display progress, checkmark %complete. To turn it on, go to Chart Properties and then to either the Taskbars or the Milestones tab. Click on the %complete Properties button. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a new setting called Add Checkmark if complete. Turn that on and click OK to close both forms. For any tasks that are complete, OnePager will fit a checkmark inside a circle and place it at the end of the bar. For any milestones that are complete, OnePager will layer that same symbol on top of the normal milestone shape. %complete checkmarks can be used on their own, as shown here, or they can complement one of the other %complete decorations if you like. OnePager version 7.1 also supports a number of new color palettes that you can use to jazz up the look and feel of your charts. To review the new palettes, go to Chart Properties and to the Main tab. Then, click on the Edit Color Palettes button. Initially, you'll see the standard palette, which should look pretty familiar. Click on the drop-down and you'll see a list of the available palettes. All of the new palettes in version 7.1 are named after world cities. Let's take a look at them. By the way, notice that for all of these new palettes, we still give you a standard set of basic colors at the bottom. This gives you the flexibility to pick a color that fits your style or your mood without losing the ability to use standard colors for things like text and status. As always, OnePager also supports custom color palettes, so if your company has its own color scheme that you want to use with OnePager, it's as easy as importing a custom palette file. Please visit our other videos at onepager.com/support, or if you have a question, you can email us at support@onepager.com and we'll be happy to assist you.